back to MyView TV, the people's platform, the home of undiluted news, reviews, updates, and your daily dose of entertainment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in your cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Man, me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, me.
Wagwan people, hope everybody okay, hope everybody alright. Life is so short. We spend so much time sweating the small stuff, worrying, complaining, gossiping, comparing, wishing, wanting, and waiting for something bigger and better instead of focusing on all the simple blessings that surround us every day. Life is so fragile, and at all it takes is a single moment to change everything you take for granted. Focus on what's important and be grateful. You are a blessing. Do as I say now. Believe it. Live your life and leave no regrets. People, I'm telling you something right now. Never ever make the enemy feel like say them can program or study Yeah, man. I say that to say this. Everybody been calling me from man. I say, my view, want to the voice. I may do it. Yes, it's me do it. Me just want to see if the review no come for like or no come for listen wagwan per wagwan. Because people, any day name they see them start go so boom. Me know my view go stay where I study him. There's some me know me are going in trouble. But all I'm going to give the people them to come and check. Ball to ball action to get on this platform. Yeah. The crocus bag full. Me say people more drama from the Clansman them don't Supreme Court. Me have couple boy when they forget slap well like no. And me I tell you no. Me have it to tag them ready. You understand? Remember say me know we will box them. And me know one lady we can sing. She will come do it for free. So don't need to worry yourself. But me have to start with this Obia man story first. A St. gentleman was allegedly chased and stabbed another man after accusing him of working Obia has found himself at the mercy of the St. James Parish Court. Upton Orton, age 49, from Mount Salem, appeared in court yesterday on charges of unlawful wounding. The incident reported occurred on October 9th last year. It is alleged that the complainant was standing outside when Orton approached him, brandishing a knife. Yes, people, on the carry knife got to fight. The complainant fled in fear, but Orton allegedly chased him with a knife and stabbed him in the neck and upper body before fleeing the scene. The injured man, yes, people, the man who get the whole heap of stab up, crawled along the main road until he was assisted to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. The police then searched for Orton, but were unable to locate him. He said, people, if I tell which part Orton all along, you not going to believe. On June 8th, he was apprehended at his home and brought in on a warrant. They say police them read that. The police them are some big baboon. All along them are going to Orton, you ask Orton, and Orton just tell the little daughter, say, don't they go tell them say me not there. And the daughter go out there and say, if they tell the same not there, come back one next day. I say the police them fool. Anyway now people, let me tell you who forget slapped right now. Leon Foota against that boy needed for go underground. Right now. A little lean face boy. You know like when they make dumpling just lean up. Cause the flour never mix out good. I say boy face look. Look by him now people. Look good. He live right next door now. Wanted for murder. Guess which part him always there? Right up at Rosei's in a St. James. Next on the list, people. Next on the list, mongrel dog. Akish Frisco Morgan, see him there. Wanted for murder. Roaring River. Yes, round pandemic ends them normally there too. So, them are two boy, we need them for go underground right now. 7 persons have been taken into custody and 5 high-end motor vehicles seized following a major joint police military operation in Greenpond, St. Anne's yesterday. Among those in custody is a minor. They look up at them and stop get themselves in that trouble. The other day I see them come on a ball about. They look at one of them take her book from camper down. If she can get back her book them after she not walking gun in her baggy. Don't give her back no book. Don't give her no book. Give her one fork and one shovel and tell her to go learn some farming. Make sure dig. And we just plan for the nation. Anyway, now people, the operation forms part of the authorities' crackdown on lottery scamming across Jamaica. According to the police, during the raid, 3 BMW motor car and 1 Mark-X, 1 Toyota Crown were seized. In addition, 10 cell phones and 2 laptops were also seized. Reported between the hours of 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. yesterday morning, a joint military operation waste of time operation led by the lottery scamming task force searched several homes at the Greenpond estate in the parish. Several of those in custody has been charged for breaching the Law Enforcement Fraudulent Transaction Act and for possession of identified information. Loan scamming them are the Pandians people. Among those charged are a 27-year-old businessman, a 22-year-old man, and a 17-year-old. all of them from the parish of St. Anne. The other persons in custody are to be questioned by the police. The identity of those in custody are being withheld pending further investigation. Watch me, I can get the paper them more news because I got news to kill. A St. James man who was caught on surveillance footage stealing from a Montego Bay business establishment will be sentenced in July. People who don't have to believe me, but me going to talk it short now. It's cheaper we keep a funeral. The defendant, Jason Cole, appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday to face charges of shop breaking and larceny. According to court records on June 6, Cole was caught on surveillance video stealing 6,000 and a flask of rum from a busy establishment on Jimmy Cliff Boulevard. I said the same rum when me that taste paper. We could have used that rum they make it GRUNG for this spot where I go dig fame. This how boy is supposed to go at the GRUNG. Remember good. Me they come tell us that them can't change. He tried to do the same thing when he went back to the establishment on June 8th. You see that people? 6, 7, 8, 2 days after, but he was unsuccessful because he was caught in the act. The police were summoned, and when they arrived, Cole admitted to the crime. During Wednesday's hearing, parish judge Sasha Smith-Ashley ordered a social inquiry report and remanded Cole in custody until July 29 when he will be sentenced. Judge, all we needed to do was this boy. We should have put him under the ground. It is a lot cheaper. I mean, I'll be honest with you now. A parish judge yesterday ruled that 3 men, listen this now paper, me know now get upset. A parish judge yesterday ruled that 3 men charged in connection with murder of a man who was shot dead at his home in Flamstead Garden were unfit for bail. Give them bail, man, make them get slapped with. The man has been charged with murder of 56-year-old chef Alan Ferguson, who was shot dead on December 12 last year. A trio, Sanchez Campbell, Richard White, and Carlton Murray, all of St. James' address, appeared in the St. James Parish Court yesterday. They are represented by attorney at law Martha Thomas, Henry McKirby, and Crumas Paris. I hope that when Godman did it, Foota family them same way, yeah? Uno look at thinking attorney can represent the same gunman make stop a Foota family, you know. I just make sure Uno do it. I can finish a review before I go down a Supreme Court. And I say if you don't behave on yourself, maybe, just maybe, I showed the picture of everybody who attacked. Okay? According to an allegation, the 3 men and a 4th man traveling to Flamstead Garden, 3 of them in a motor car and 1 on a motorcycle. The men stopped at the premises of the deceased and 1 of them pointed him out. 1 of the men then exit the car with a firearm. Yes, people, and fire several shots at Ferguson, hitting him all over the body. Yes, people, you know, so once you get shot all over the body, you're dead. Campbell's attorney, McKirby, stated in his submission that his client is being held responsible for being the pointer, but he is still requesting that the bail be granted. Murray's lawyer, yes, Morris, look at that lawyer, Thomas, stated that he is reluctant to request bail for Murray until his case has been disposed of in the gun court. Meanwhile, rights attorney Paris expressed concern about his client's continued detention due to a medical condition that is difficult to treat whilst in custody. You know what, Judge, it's like how we know them name right now. Give them bail. Have a couple friends that can fix them business. Give them bail. Them business they forget fixed by enemies necessary. You understand? Right on the ground them supposed to go. You see the one bag of man around a Durham town at night time about some holy passion. Cause don't just come like it to our SOE too, you know. Every night shot a beat round them is the people. The amount of shot on around the last night. Right now me I fear make some call to find out if them the money and them the man them is. If them was search for them family member who never come in last night. Maybe, just maybe, them dead. Anyway, now people, me go down to Supreme Court. Go no ball to ball commentary. Want a little update for the Clansman trial. Okay?
Evan Green, brother of the alleged leader Brian, professed his innocence, calling the witnesses liars. He says he has never test-fired any guns or worn any bulletproof vests, as one of the witnesses previously testified. Another defendant, Daniel Mackenzie alias Biggs, in his unsworn statement, says he was never any don for the Lauriston community in Spanish Town. He has never owned nor used a gun in his life. Claiming his innocence, defendant Lamar Simpson alias Sickhead got emotional when expressing to the judge that he is a father of 2 sons and that he's the man who has to stand for his family. He begged, quote, "Your faithfulness, look through my side and every side. I am not guilty," end quote. Talking casually for over 6 minutes, defendant Michael Whiteley says he knows nothing about any gang He is a chef and has been cooking since he was 15. Quote, I don't in any gang, just my food shop me deal with, end quote. Pete Miller, alias Smokey, says his father was killed by members of the Clansman gang, so he could never join such a gang. He refuted the witnesses' allegations of being a don for the Waterloo community in Spanish Town. Pointing to the witnesses' claim of him having a bent foot, Miller asked the judge's permission to move from the dock and walk, which he did in an aim to demonstrate that neither of his 2 feet have a bend. Laughter erupted in the courtroom. Meanwhile, defendant Donovan Richards described himself as a higgler, not a gangster, as he tries to stay focused on his business, 3 children, and his mother's health condition. He says this is his 3rd time before the courts for anti-gang related charges. However, he says the previous cases were thrown out due to lack of evidence. I killed no one. I am not a gang member. I was no bodyguard, says the accused Tariq James, who claims he's been in police custody from November 2017 to date. He says all the allegations of his involvement in a criminal organization comes as a surprise. He told the judge that he has a boombox and he plays a song from it daily. He went further, saying out loud the lyrics of the song, quote, all I have are my dreams. All I want is my freedom, end quote. The lone female defendant Stephanie Christie, alias Mumma, also rose to her feet, saying she is a businesswoman, not a criminal. She describes herself as a people person, caring for the elderly and the youth in her community. She went further, stating that she hosted several social activities, including sports, to engage youngsters in the community as well as neighboring communities. Christie says she also enrolled youngsters in school. She adds that she is and was never part of any gang and that Andre Blackman Bryan is her good friend as they went to school together. 5 of the 23 accused who have given statements in court denied ever knowing Bryan before the start of the case. The trial reconvenes on Thursday at 10 in the morning. Like the 26 others before him, Thomas denied the allegation of being part of a criminal organization. When asked if he knew the reputed gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan, Thomas said, quote, "Me no know only Blackman," end quote. He refuted the claims of him test-firing guns for the alleged gang, as one of the self-confessed gangsters turned state witness testified. Defendant Ted Prince, in his unsworn statement from the dock, says he's a shoemaker and knows nothing about a gang. He says, quote, "From a barn me never yet get a shot yet, Your Honor. I me never drive in a knock car with this man. Go nowhere, go bundong nowhere," end quote, disputing the evidence given by a witness. Prince says the witnesses have been making up things. He ended his statement saying, quote, "That's my story, Your Honor," end quote. Accused Dylan McLean also proclaimed his innocence, saying he's a warehouse attendant and he's never held or fired a gun. McLean, who is from Jones Avenue in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, says he hardly came out of his house and that he has never seen any of the 2 key witnesses who claim they know him. Presiding Judge Chief Justice Brian Sykes instructed the defense attorneys who have requested records to have the producers of the data present in court to speak to how those records are created and prepared. Justice Sykes says if all goes accordingly, evidence could come to an end by next week. After which he says a 3-day break will follow to allow the Crown and the defense to get their thoughts together. Justice Sykes says the objective is to have the summation of the trial begin and for it to be brought to an end before the close of the legal year. The trial will resume at 10